Hello students, welcome to AriserTalent. In my previous lecture, I taught you digestion in humans. Now we are going to talk about very interesting topic, that is digestion in ruminants. Okay, actually you all have seen, as I know, you all have seen cows, ox, buffaloes in your street or in villages or somewhere else. Okay, so let me explain you here. First of all, let me show you a diagram of a ruminant. Okay, here I have taken cow and you can see the internal digestive system of the ruminant. Okay, so first of all, let me explain you that hope you all have seen the cow, ox, buffalo in your street or some in villages or somewhere else. So have you ever noticed that whenever they get the food, generally they eat grass. They are known as herbivores because they eat plants. Okay, and plants are what? They have fibers in that. Okay, so what happens when these herbivores like cow, ox, buffalo, they get the plants or they get grass? Okay, so when they get that food, they just swallow it. They do not chew it properly. They just swallow it, and then whenever they move from that place, they sit, they take some rest, then they bring that food back from the stomach to the mouth and then they chew it properly. Hope you all have seen that. You all have noticed whether they are sitting at some place, they do not have food but still they are chewing. So what kind of food they are chewing? They have whatever food they have swallowed earlier, then they bring it back from the stomach to the mouth and then they chew it properly. So this is the reason then they are known as ruminants, because bringing the food, which food? Swallowed food. Bringing the swallowed food back from the stomach to the mouth to chew it. This process is known as rumination. This is the reason that these herbivores animals are known as ruminants. Okay, now let me explain you. Generally, what are the different parts of the digestive system? They have mouth, they have esophagus, they have stomach, they have intestine, rectum and anus. These are common parts, but the difference is that the digestion which we have studied about the human, that is different from the digestion in ruminants. Why it is different? Because these ruminants, they have 4 chambered in the stomach. Rest the organs are same. Okay, rest the parts are same. Like they ingest the food through the mouth, then food goes through the esophagus to the stomach, and from the stomach to the intestine, from rectum to the anus. But the difference between the human and the ruminant is that their stomach, means the stomach in the ruminant is divided into 4 chamber. What are they? They are rumen. Here we can see this is rumen, then reticulum. Here we can see this is reticulum, then abomasum and omasum. Clear? So thus we can say that the stomach of ruminant is divided into 4 chambers. They are rumen, reticulum, abomasum and omasum. Now it's very interesting. Please pay attention. Why it is interesting? Because when an herbivore, means cow, buffalo, ox, whatever is there, when it gets its food, it does not chew it properly. Okay, it swallow it. That food goes through the esophagus directly into the rumen. Okay, rumen is the largest part of the stomach in the ruminants. Fine. In the rumen, some symbiosis bacteria are present. Okay, symbiosis microorganisms are present. What they do, they release cellulase enzyme which digests the cellulose. Clear? Now what happens, students? When they swallow this food, it directly goes into the rumen. Okay, what happens when they sit and then they bring this cud, this food which is undigested or unchewed, then this is known as cud. What happens then? This cud goes through the reticulum to the esophagus, then to the mouth. Then only the animals chew it properly. Clear? Then what is the interesting thing? That after chewing it, it again comes back to the rumen. Clear? Then from rumen, it goes to the abomasum. Abomasum is known as true stomach. Why it is known as true stomach? Because After the digestion from rumen, when food goes into the abomasum releases some acids and enzymes. Okay, so digestion takes place, means digestion completes here in the abomasum only. This is the reason that abomasum is known as true stomach. Clear? After abomasum, then food goes into the omasum. Why it goes to the omasum? In the omasum, whatever the fluid is there present in the digested food, then it get absorbed by the omasum. Clear? Then this food goes to the small intestine. Fine. Then other nutrients are get absorbed here. Fine. Whatever the waste material is there, it goes through the rectum and waste is thrown out of the body through the anus. So this is the reason I told you that the process of digestion in ruminant is very interesting. Why it is interesting? Because it is different from the humans. Okay, and why it is different? Because the stomach is divided into 4 parts. So let me define it here. Digestion in ruminants, what happens? Herbivores like cow, ox, buffalo swallow their food without chewing. After some time, they bring that swallowed food back to the mouth to chew it properly, and this process is known as rumination. Okay. After some time, they bring the swallowed food which is known as curd. Okay. After some time, they bring the swallowed food back to the mouth to chew it properly. This process is known as rumination, and these animals are known as ruminants. Okay, and these animals are known as ruminants. Okay. One other reason that they are known as ruminant is, come here, that the food, whatever the food they chew or they swallow, it goes into the rumen. Okay. And this is the reason that these animals are known as ruminant. Okay. Why? Because this rumen is the largest part of the stomach. Fine. Come back. As I told you that process of bringing back the swallowed food into the mouth to chew it, this process is known as rumination, and these animals are known as ruminants. Okay. So other important thing is that the stomach, which is the stomach of these ruminant, is divided into 4 parts. The stomach of these ruminants is divided into 4 parts or 4 chambers. What are they? Rumen. Okay, here we can see rumen, then reticulum. Okay, rumen, reticulum. Then here we have studied abomasum, and the 4th one is omasum. Okay, rumen is the largest part of the stomach. Rumen is the largest part of the stomach. Okay, reticulum is the smallest one. Okay, and in the rumen, symbiotic bacteria are present which help in the conversion of cellulose, which break down the cellulose, means they release cellulase. This is the enzyme. As I told you that these animals, means herbivores like cow, buffalo, goat, whatever are there, they eat plants and grass. Okay, these contain cellulose. We cannot eat the grass, we cannot eat the plant. Why? Because our digestive system cannot digest the cellulose. But in the ruminants, these bacteria, symbiotic bacteria which are present in the rumen, they release cellulase. This is the reason these animals can eat the plants and grasses, because they can convert the cellulose into the simpler form. Okay. Next is symbiotic bacteria release present in the rumen, release cellulase. They release cellulase the rumen release cellulase to digest cellulose. Okay, this is the very important thing. Pay attention here that whatever green food is eaten by the animals, herbivores like cow, buffalo and ox, then it contains fibers and it contains cellulose which is digested by the enzyme which is digested by the enzyme cellulase, which is released by the symbiotic bacteria which are present in the rumen. Fine. So what happens, as I told you, that from the rumen food goes into the, where it goes into the mouth, then the animal chew it properly, then again it comes back to the rumen, then it goes to the abomasum. Okay, let me mention. Abomasum is known as true stomach. Okay, why it is known as true stomach? Because it releases what? It releases acids and enzyme, and the digestion, actual digestion takes place here in the abomasum. Okay, abomasum is known as true stomach as it releases acids and enzymes for digestion of food. Okay, fine. This is the reason it is known as, means abomasum is known as true stomach, because it releases acids and enzymes, then they convert the food or they digest the food. So digestion, actual digestion takes place here in the abomasum. Okay, then after that omasum, food goes into the omasum, that is the fourth chamber. Next is omasum. In the omasum, whatever the fluid is present, it gets absorbed here. Fluid is absorbed in the omasum. Okay, sorry, omasum. Fine. Then food goes digested food goes into the intestine, okay. From there, undigested, in the intestine whatever the nutrients are there, they get absorbed, okay. Then from there undigested food goes into the rectum, okay. Then it is thrown, it is passed out by the body, sorry, it is passed out from the body by anus. Okay, so this is complete digestion in ruminants. Ruminants are the cud chewing animals. Okay, what are ruminants? Ruminants are cud chewing animals. Means what is cud? Whatever the swallowed food goes into the rumen of the animals. Which animals? Means ruminants. Okay, then when they bring it back to the stomach, to the mouth to chew it, that process is known as rumination, and these animals are known as ruminants. So this is the complete digestion in ruminants. So here we have studied about the digestion in ruminants. Now let me explain you. In this chapter we studied about two types of digestion. What are they? One is intracellular and another is extracellular. Okay, here the digestion of ruminants complete. Now let me explain you. Types of digestion which we studied in this chapter or in this part of nutrition. So whatever we have studied, according to that, digestion is of two types. Okay, digestion is of two types: intracellular and extracellular. Okay, intracellular. First of all, we will talk about intracellular. So intra means inside. Okay, and if we talk about extracellular, so extra means outside. Okay, so first of all, we will talk about intracellular digestion. We have studied in the amoeba and paramecium that they are unicellular, but all the different steps, all the 5 steps of digestion takes place inside the one cell only. Okay, so thus such kind of digestion is known as intracellular. But in some organism which are generally multicellular, okay, so when the digestion takes place outside the cell, as I told you the digestion in humans, I told you the digestion in ruminants, okay, so they are multicellular and the digestion takes place outside the cell, that is known as extracellular digestion. Okay, let me mention. In this type of digestion, takes place, all these steps, all the 5 steps of digestion take place inside the single cell. Okay, for example, amoeba, paramecium. Okay, and extracellular when all the 5 steps of digestion takes place outside the cell. In this type of digestion, all the 5 steps of digestion take place outside the cell. Okay, so this is the difference between intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. So here the topic nutrition gets completed. Okay, in this lecture we studied about the digestion in ruminants and the types of digestion. Hope everything is clear to you. Thank you.